Hello, today we're going to install a LED sign controller, and this video is to help you see how we do it. So to start with, you have your LED controller. This is the brightness sensor that attaches to the LED controller. This is the network cable that goes to the first receiving card of the controller system, and these are the 5-volt power wires. You got a negative and a positive. Make sure when you hook these up, you put the red wire to the VCC and the black wire to the ground. So we're going to take this controller and we're going to install it in the cabinet. What I'm going to do to make this easy is I'm going to take off the antennas and take off the network cable. Then I'm going to unhook the brightness sensor. I'm going to take this just like this. I'm going to go over to the LED cabinet and put this in. So we've made this with a clamping system that you can mount on the horizontal supports inside the screen back here, and you have high ones and middle ones and low ones. We like to put it on the high one. What I like to do is loosen that nut all the way to the top. Then take the second nut off, pull that up, swing it around. Put your nut back on. Tighten the clamp down. Okay, so there we have it installed inside of the LED cabinet. The next thing we're going to do is take the power wires and we're going to feed these in here into the cabinet. And then come over here to the receiving card that's inside of your LED cabinet. On this one, VCC is the bottom screw, and we're going to put the red wire on that. Snug that down. Put the ground wire on the top screw. The ground wire, if you look close on the circuit board, it will say GND for ground and VCC for the positive. Okay, so now that you got power run to your controller card, the next step is to get your antennas. Put them on top. Your second antenna. One is your access point and one is your station. Screw those down. Okay, next thing is to get your network cable and put it in the left side of the double port, just like that. Then fish this wire into your cabinet and go over to the receiving card and put it in the port closest to the power wires. There's two, there's one higher and there's one right here. We're gonna call this the in. So it's coming in from the sending card. And then when you go to when you're putting multiple cabinets together, you put a wire in the out and then you feed that through this port down here in the side. It's kind of hard to see, but through the side you can fish your wire through to the next cabinet and then put this other end of this wire into the in port of the receiving card on the other cabinet. Okay, so then the next thing to do is to put your automatic brightness sensor on, and this is a barrel plug. You kind of got to feel it. You can twist it and feel where it wants to lock, and then when you get it to where it's in the right position, you can push it together. Then what you do is you take this and unravel this wire, and you got to mount this in the side of your cabinet, or run the wire through the outside of the cabinet and mount it somewhere else on the sign. You like it to have good light so it can read the ambient light. To mount this, you're going to need a hole saw that's 2 3/16 inch hole saw. It's a little bit of an odd size. A lot of people can find 2 3/8 or 2 1/4, 2 1/8. But this is 2 3/16, and it doesn't have a real big lip, so you really need to use the right size hole saw. But this is your ambient light sensor, and you're going to take and you'd run this wire through the cabinet, and preferably drill your hole and mount it through this bottom part of the cabinet so they can see the exterior light. You always want to put your holes near the bottom of your cabinet, so if water got in, the water would just leak out through the weep holes that are in the bottom of the cabinet, and it don't damage any of the electronics. If you got a hole up high and it gets water in, that could be a problem. So we usually try to make holes near the bottom of the cabinets to avoid that. This concludes your video for installing the LED controller card, the antennas, the power wire, and the brightness sensor. I hope this has been a clear video and answered your questions. Got any more questions, please feel free to give us a call. Thank you. Bye-bye.